This is a video about 3 ways to transcend your consciousness. If you did not know, it's planes to your consciousness. You got a physical plane, astral, etheric, ethereal, cosmic, and then your eternal self, which is God. So how can you transcend your consciousness off the physical realm? Okay, if your consciousness is on the physical realm, most likely the way you see life is literally through your one sense, which is touch. And if you did not know, you do not have 5 senses. You have one. Light code hit the retinas of your eyes. You have certain, it's literally a I think it's a neuron in your brain, in your eardrum that receives frequencies so you can hear, and so on and so forth. You already know. So why am I saying this? This is how a lot of people are enslaved and they're eluded from themselves, just because they only move off of that one sense, and because their consciousness on the physical playing field, which our oppressor has eluded us into being. That's your lower self, your lowest self. You got your lower self, you got your higher self. Your higher self is God. Your lower self, I don't want to say it's necessarily the devil, but somewhat. That's why the devil, how they showed you, is a red dude. That's literally your root chakra, which is red. And you know how God is like a clear mystical blue? Well, your crown chakra is actually purple, but it shows you is detachment from the physical realm to go to higher planes of existence, which is the eternal playing field. So how can you do this? The number one way is meditation. You can achieve anything in meditation. If you ever want to find out something, meditate. If you ever want to achieve something, meditate. But I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing with transcending your consciousness. If you do a fasted meditation, so if you did not know, when you fast, that's one big way you detach from the physical realm. Also practicing law of detachment from any attachments that you previously have. But if you detach from food, because food has been our biggest weakness, because they literally programmed us in the mind breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we just accepted that shit. And some of us eat like 5-6 times a day. So why am I saying this? So they literally, you know how cows and shit and cattle, they eat, all they do is eat, and they're literally lazy as hell. They're in their lowest selves. They just eat. That's how they made us. They look at us as cattle, bro. They look at us as just animals when we're gods. So when you detach from food, did you not, if you didn't know, your spirit induces and transcends. So like, why am I saying this? You're gonna feel very tired at first, but your spirit is gonna rise, and because you're activating spiritually, and especially if you meditate too, you're literally gonna activate spiritually. So if you meditate while you're on that fast, probably like the 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 5th day, you're gonna be able to transcend the higher planes of consciousness way easier, in a more sophisticated and efficient way, because your spirit's rose. Your spirit literally has rose because you're not on the physical plane no more. Food in certain attachments has always condensed us to this plane, but it's mainly food. And I seen that with myself. It was always mainly food. I was a very bad stress eater. A lot of things with food. It was like a comfort. So that's the number one thing. Meditation itself is going to unlock you to your higher self, because you know everything's internal. Your power is within you, not outside of you, bro. God is not outside of you, it's within you. You are literally God in the universe in one. It's about your vibration, and this all comes from within yourself. You got to understand, match the frequency you want, you get the life that you desire. But this is an internal thing. Look at all the universal laws, not just law of attraction, law of correspondence, law of divine oneness, law of vibration. That's so within, that's so out. Everything's internal. Your power is within. And this is why, like, I don't have no problem with religion, but this is why they made all of that shit and made up the concept of guys outside of you to elude your power from yourself. Niggas pray all the time. Their prayers will never happen, because the acronym of pray is actually praise. You're supposed to pray or feed in positive energy. But the real meaning to pray is actually setting intention in your mind. And you behold and manifest upon that intent and act upon it. People just think it's praying to some deity outside of yourself, which is not. It's actually setting that intention within your mind so you can manifest the reality, because you control your reality from within yourself. It's frequency. Number 2, how can you evolve your consciousness? Go on semen retention. If you did not know, semen is your life force energy. This is exactly why they push out sex and all this other stuff, to literally keep you at your lowest. That life force energy is sacred energy, and that energy can be literally channeled onto something, so you can manifest whatever you want way quicker, way easier, way more efficient. If you do not know what Kundalini energy is, it's your sexual energy, and when it rises, it can rise up to your 33rd vertebrae and literally touch your pineal gland, so that you can channel to higher frequencies, higher consciousness, and higher playing fields of existence. because everything is energy. I need y'all to understand this. This is how your higher self and God sees it, because there is no good and bad. It's just pure energy. And when you detach from that good and bad statement off of moving of emotions, attachments, anything like that, you're able to retain as much energy as possible to channel on something. So now that you can manifest, transcend, and do whatever you need to do, because there is no good and bad, like I said. So semen retention is very essential. I've been on semen retention for probably a month and a half now. And you're gonna start to feel it, I feel like maybe after 3 weeks. But when you get to like month 3 or 4, oh yeah, your aura gonna be glowing. You're gonna feel like, I don't wanna say you're on steroids, but you're gonna feel like, you know those like Red Bulls and those energy things, like pills and stuff, you're gonna feel like that, because you're gonna have all this life force energy just retained inside of you, and you're gonna use it on something. So make sure you go on semen retention. Number 3, what's another way to raise your consciousness? Go in nature. Nature, I ain't gonna lie, nature is one of the best ways too. If you do not know, everything is a frequency. So like this house that y'all might see behind me, it's energy inside of that house, and the house has a vibration installed upon my mom, myself, and my sister's energy that has been inside of it. So whether it be good, bad, high, or low, it's some type of energy within it. Okay, nature already has its own divine frequency within it. That's exactly why when you go in nature, you might feel more comfort, more high. You just feel better, because it's the frequency from the trees, from the ground, from the animals. It's all a divine, they're all in their divine state. And it's also higher consciousness. The trees are alive, the ground, the earth is alive, everything is alive around you. In the same way you can get around somebody and feel their energy and aura, that's the same exact way with you being in nature. That's why it's essential. I tell you to go meditate in nature. I know it might be some spiders, some snakes, and some mosquitoes, but they won't bother you. They're chilling. Just meditate. Meditate in nature and ground your feet barefoot in the soil, so that you can feel the earth's energy, and you can literally set an intent in the ground and it will manifest. Whether it's cleansing your energy, a higher vibration, whatever, it could even be something that you want. Like, just understand the power of the mind goes beyond all limits of space, time, and anything that they've ever told us. Quantum physics and metaphysics is the process of how energy is converted, manipulated, and shown. That's why voodoo can be broke down through quantum physics. They just taught us that it was so-called science when it's actually magic. Okay, those are 3 ways you can elevate and rise in consciousness and elevate your vibration. I share.